everyone, this is Deepak and today's session belongs to geography, where we are going to deal. The topic of today's is why temperature increases with the increasement height in the troposphere. But the topic is temperature increases with height in troposphere. Before starting this topic, we have to know that what is the troposphere. But again, before the starting of this topic, you have to know what is the way of teaching of my for the geography for you. So the way of my teaching will be that if I want to say about the geography is the basic science. You can say either the phenomena of cyclone, earthquake, wind, any phenomena is going to happen in geography. That also all the phenomena belongs to basic science. So the concept of geography belongs to basic science. So this will be the basic. What basic belongs to the basic, or we can say here it is concept part. Concept belongs to the science in geography, and this concept we have to implement in the map. So the second part of geography of my way of teaching will be, mapping. So this basic concept we have to implement on the mapping. We have to implement on the mapping. So after this, the topic which we will read, there we have to add the current affairs, and after adding the current affair, we will able to complete this topic, whatever that topic will be. But one thing, one question rises here by the various students as parents, that they say, sir, I have completed the geography with the various sources, but I am not able to solve the questions of CSC. So I want to say that particular students that in this session we are going to solve the previous year questions of CSC, other advanced question of mine, and we are also going to do answer writing practice as well. So, and the question, that means with the particular topic, suppose there is this topic. So we are going to what the question they have put up in the CSC examination with the topic. The second thing, what the mains question can be they made in the CSC examination, they made earlier, and what kind of question they can form on this particular topic. So we are going to deal with one by one the question of PT, mains, essay, interview, etc. So all things we are going to discuss here. Do not worry, we are going to complete total geography, and that will be on your turn. So do not afraid with the geography, and do not afraid with the science that I have even not anywhere read this science. In the class of 9th, 10th, I am not read this science. Do not afraid with this. So I am starting today's session that belong to increasement of temperature in the troposphere. So firstly, in all the things there are keywords. First keyword is the temperature, and the second keyword is the troposphere. So firstly, we should know about the temperature. What is the temperature? We have already read in the class of 9th, 10th in our primary and secondary education as well. So I am talking about the temperature. Can anybody tell the temperature? What is the temperature? That is a scale. Temperature is the scale. What kind of scale it is? It is the scale to measure the heat. What? The scale which can be used for measuring heat, either that heat is high or low. If there is high level of heat, the temperature will be more. If the low heat, there will be low quantity of heat, the temperature will less. Are you getting me what I say? Okay. So if there is more heat, there will be more temperature. If there is less heat, there is less temperature. So temperature is the scale to measure the heat. So we have got a common sense regarding temperature. We'll go through a broad expectation, a broad study of temperature in later videos, later lectures. So I am talking the second keywords, that is troposphere. So the question rises here, what is the troposphere? We have got this thing, what will be the way of my teaching, but we have came on the, we have come on the today's section, where we have to understand what is the troposphere. Troposphere. What is troposphere? So troposphere is the part of atmosphere. Answer is this is the part of atmosphere. Again the question rises, sir, what is the atmosphere? So I am talking about the atmosphere. The atmosphere is homogeneous mixture of the gases. You know that what atmosphere, before knowing, because this is related to atmosphere. So before knowing this troposphere, we should know about the atmosphere. Atmosphere is the homogeneous mixture of the gases which surrounded the Earth. Can anybody tell about the, what is the shape of Earth? That is geoid. What is geoid? Because it is, flat on the North Pole to South Pole. Do not say the shape of Earth is like orange, like, egg shape. Do not say like a sphere. Do not say this. Say this. You have to say here, the shape of Earth is geoid, and the homogeneous mixture of the gases which surrounded the Earth is called atmosphere. But how it is surrounded? Due to gravitational force. Which force? Gravitational force. So this is the gravitational force. By the gravitational force, the homogeneous mixture which surrounded the Earth is called atmosphere. By the which force? Gravitational force. And the second keywords in my definition comes that homogeneous mixture. Mixture we all know. If we mix two or more substance, that will be called mixture. But I am talking about the homogeneous mixture here. What is the homogeneous mixture? If there is fixed ratio of the substance in the mixture, that mixture is called homogeneous mixture. Substance with fixed ratio in the mixture is called homogeneous mixture. So I am talking about the atmosphere. I said atmosphere is the homogeneous mixture of the gases which surrounded the Earth with the gravitational force. Which force? Gravitational force. The second thing, we should know about the GF, gravitational force. What? GF. Do not take otherwise this GF. This is the gravitational force, and we are reading here geography. So I am talking about the gravitational force. The question rises, will come with this troposphere, but troposphere is related to atmosphere. So we are getting some basic ideas regarding atmosphere. So do not worry that our topic is this, but we are studying these things because by studying these things only we will get that particular idea, that scientific idea that you will be make you able for the solving of CSC questions. Otherwise they are going to turn some question in other way. So you will be not able to solve the particular question. So we have to deal geography with the science. So let us go ahead. We have to know about about we have to know about the gravitational force to knowing this, troposphere and the basic concepts belonging this topic. So what we have read about the gravitational force. Gravitational force. Gravitational force. What is the gravitational force? Gravitational force is that force which acts between two particles or two bodies having mass. Suppose there is two bodies or two particles, you can say it has mass m1 and the second has mass m2, and what is the distance between this particle is the r. Distance between this particle is the r. So what is the gravitational force? Actually we have studied this gravitational force in the previous classes. In the 9th, 10th classes we have studied. This is very basic thing. So what will the gravitational force? Gf will be G m1 m2 upon r square. So again, what is the G? G is the universal gravitational constant. So it is a constant. G is the constant. It is a constant. That means the value of G is not going to change. So which determine gravitational force? What determine that mass of the particle, this mass of the particles, and the distance between them determines the gravitational force. So I am talking about the mass of the particle determines the gravitational force as well. At the second hand, the distance also determines what will be the value of gravitational force. If we think like a simple math calculation, so this value, this all belongs to numerator. This all belongs to numerator, and this belongs to denominator. Say yes or no. Say yes or no. So this is the numerator and this is the denominator. So think about, if the value of numerator will increase in any division, so what the value of GF also increases. So if the value of M1 increases, if the value of M2 increases, so value of GF also increases. Because if numerator increases, the division value will increase and GF will increase. But think in the other hand, if the denominator increases, so firstly we are going to talk about the numerator. So if the numerator, that is mass of the particle, increases, so value of GF will increase. So these M1 and M2 having direct relation with the gravitational force. If I talk about the gravitational force, it directly proportional to M1 and M2. That means if M1 increases, GF increases. If M2 increases, again GF increases. If both increases, again GF increases. But what about the distance? This is denominator. If the denominator increasing, the total value of division will decrease. So if the distance increases with between both particles, from where? This is distance from the center of the particles. Okay. So do not afraid with do not confuse with this. So I am talking about GF is inverse inverse relation with the what? With the distance. If the distance increases, GF will decrease. So that means GF has inverse relation. Means if the distance increases, GF decreases. If distance decreases, GF increases. Okay. So I am talking about the gravitational force. We have got the idea. Gravitational force directly proportional to mass of the particles. This is the first thing. And inversely proportional to distance between the particles. So we have got this idea. Gravitational force. What is the atmosphere? We have done that. Atmosphere is the homogeneous mixture of the gases which surrounded by the gravitational force. Okay. So we have got the idea of gravitational force. We have got the idea of what is the atmosphere. So again we are going to talk about the troposphere. And after discussion of the troposphere, again we are going to know about this thing, which is our today's topic. So what is the troposphere? Troposphere is the part of atmosphere. So what is the atmosphere? The homogeneous mixture surrounded to Earth by the gravitational force. So if I talk the first part, this is second part. How many parts? How many parts? Here the question rises, how many parts of atmosphere? There are 5 parts of the atmosphere. The first part, second part, and the third part, the fourth part, and the last one is the fifth part. Why I am not drawing the boundary of the last part? Because it is boundaryless. The last part of atmosphere that, out away from the Earth's surface has boundaryless. So first part is troposphere. This is troposphere. This is stratosphere. Stratosphere. This is mesosphere. Mesosphere. This is ionosphere. Ionosphere. Okay. And if I talk stratosphere, it is also called ozonosphere. Ozonosphere. Why? The presence of ozone mostly occurs in the stratosphere. So stratosphere is also called ozonosphere. Okay. The next is mesosphere. Why? Because it is middle of our sphere, because 2 is away, outside of this, and 2 is the near the surface of this. So it is in middle. So it is called mesosphere. And the next is ionosphere, because it has more temperature. So the gases are in iron. So this is called ionosphere. We will go through in detail in the further lecture. So the next and the outer last part of the atmosphere is the exosphere. Exosphere. So what is the troposphere? Troposphere, what is the definition of troposphere here? Troposphere, that part of the atmosphere, it is a part of atmosphere which directly related with the surface of Earth. It directly related, this troposphere is the directly related with the surface of Earth. And our weathering condition, cyclone, wind, rainfall, whatever, that all belongs to this troposphere. We will go through a broad aspect in the further lectures, but presently we are going to deal with this topic, where temperature increases with the height in the troposphere. This is our topic of today's. So I am going to deal with this topic. So let us go ahead and get some idea about this and we are going to deal with this topic. So before starting this topic, we'll get a basic idea. Suppose the temperature is increasing or decreasing, that particular thing belongs to a good or substance, for which temperature increasing or decreasing. Temperature of substance or goods can increase and can decrease. If there is no goods, how the temperature is increasing or decreasing going to occur? So if there is no goods, there cannot be increasement and or decreasement of temperature. Are you getting me what I say? Means if we talk about the temperature, that temperature belongs to any goods or substance. So suppose temperature, if I talk about the temperature, that belongs to substance, and the second hand, the temperature also belongs to the heat. In the very first of my lecture, in starting, we have discussed if the heat increases, the temperature increases. Most of the cases. Why I say here most of the cases? Because of sometime heat increases but temperature do not increase. What is that example? Take an example for this. If I say about the vapor, you can say in vapor it has 100 degree temperature, 100 degree centigrade temperature. If I talk about the boiling water, it has also same temperature, that is 100 degree centigrade. But heat having, what is vapor? Vapor having more heat, other part, water, boiling water having less heat, but the temperature of both having same, that is 100 degrees centigrade. So sometime it occurs if there is, if heat increases and temperature not increases. We'll go through that later on the videos, the lectures, but currently we should assume a common sense. We should think and get a common sense about this. If the heat increases, temperature increases. Are you getting it what I say here? So we have got the idea of temperature as well before the start solving this theory, and before knowing this concept. This is the thing. There should be, if there is temperature increasing, decreasing, that should be belongs to substance or a matter or a goods, and the heat related to the temperature. If heat increases, temperature increases. So again we are going to talk about this. We got about what is the troposphere. We got about what is the temperature. So the temperature of the troposphere, what will be our heading? That will be temperature of the troposphere. Temperature of troposphere. Troposphere. Temperature of the troposphere. So if I talk about the temperature of the troposphere, there are two things. There should be some substance for which absorb the heat, and by absorbing the heat, the temperature can increase. Are you getting me? What? There should be some substance. So what substance, what particles belongs to troposphere? Troposphere, if the atmosphere is the homogeneous mixture of the gases, where troposphere is the part of atmosphere, that means troposphere is also homogeneous mixture of the gases. Are you getting me what I say? If the atmosphere is the homogeneous mixture of the gases, troposphere the part of atmosphere, that means troposphere is also homogeneous mixture of the gases. So if there is gases, there can be denser or rarer. So the first thing which determines temperature of the troposphere is the density of gas. Density of gas. What does it mean? Density of the gas particles. Okay. The second hand heat. If heat will be more, if heat increases, temperature can increase. If heat decreases, temperature can decrease. So I am talking about the first part. So think about, we are going to deal with the first part. So think here. If I talk about the Earth surface, suppose this is the Earth surface, and we are talking about the troposphere only, not other spheres of the atmosphere. We are going to talk about only the troposphere, which is the first layer of the atmosphere, troposphere. If I say the height increasing, if I say the height increasing in troposphere, so you can think about the distance between Earth and particles of atmosphere increasing or decreasing. Say yes or no. Increasing or decreasing. Say increasing or decreasing. The height increases. That means the distance between Earth and the particles of atmosphere increasing. Distance increasing. If the distance increasing, that means if the distance increases, what we have read about the gravitational force, if the distance increases, gravitational force decreases. Say yes or no. Say yes or no. If the gravitational force decreases, what about the density? Here near the Earth's surface, more gravitational force, so there will be more density. If the less gravitational force is the attraction force, so it is more where? Near the surface of Earth. So here will be more particles, and away from the surface of Earth there will be lesser particles. Are you getting me what I say? So if there is decreasement of gravitational force, there will be, the density in troposphere troposphere will also decrease? Say yes or no. Density of troposphere will also decrease. If the density is decreasing, that means the absorbing of heat by the particles of atmosphere will also decrease. So absorbing of heat will also decrease. If the absorbing of heat also decrease, that means temperature will also decrease. So think here, height increasing, temperature decreasing, where this belongs to troposphere. So we have completed one thing, that if height increases in the troposphere, the temperature decreases here. We have got this idea. But think about the previous, we have got two factors which determines temperature in troposphere. First was the density of the gases. What? Density of the troposphere or density of the gas. The second was the heat. So we have got idea from this first factor that if height increases, that means distance between Earth's surface and the particle of troposphere increases. That means gravitational force decreases. That means density of troposphere is going to decreases. That means there is less particle of atmosphere in upper, going from away from the Earth's surface. That means absorbing of the heat will decrease. This means temperature decreases. So the next factor which determines temperature of the troposphere is the heat. If I talk about the heat here, heat of atmosphere. So atmosphere or troposphere can get heat from two ways. First is the insolation. And the second is, first is the insolation and the second is terrestrial radiation. So firstly we are going to talk about the insolation. What is the insolation? Insolation is the radiation which comes from the sun towards earth. The radiation which comes from the sun towards earth is called insolation. Insolation is a kind of radiation. So if it is a radiation, it has heat. So by the insolation, atmosphere or troposphere, which is the part of atmosphere, the heat of atmosphere or troposphere can increase here by the insolation. And the second thing, by the absorbing of this radiation, the temperature of the earth also increases. If by absorbing of the insolation, if the temperature of earth increases, that means if the temperature of earth increases, so the things which absorb the temperature is called black body. What is called that? That is called black body. So if I talk about the black body, so earth can be said as a black body. So after absorbing the temperature, earth also release the heat in the form of radiation. So after absorbing this insolation, earth also emit the heat in the form of radiation. That radiation, that heat which is emitted by earth in the form of radiation, that is called terrestrial radiation. So I am talking the second part, which determine the temperature of troposphere is the heat. And the atmosphere or troposphere the gases of atmosphere or particles of the gases do not warm or absorb the heat of insolation from insolation. It absorbs very less amount of heat from insolation or solar radiation. It absorbs more amount of heat to increasement its temperature, that is terrestrial radiation. So think about, if the gases of atmosphere absorbing more than heat from the terrestrial radiation beside insolation. So terrestrial radiation participate increasement of more heat of or temperature of an atmosphere. It participates more than insolation. So if I talk about here, suppose if this is the surface of Earth, and what about we are talking that the first layer of the gas of the atmosphere, that is troposphere. If the height increases, the quantity of terrestrial radiation, the quantity of terrestrial radiation will decrease or increase. Say decrease or increase, that will decrease. Why? Because the terrestrial radiation is the radiation which is emitted by the Earth's surface. So if it is going from Earth's surface towards upward, so the gases will absorb this heat. And the gases which are related with the Earth's surface will absorb more heat. So the quantity of terrestrial radiation or heat will decrease on going of terrestrial radiation upper layer of atmosphere. Say yes or no. So if the quantity of terrestrial radiation will decrease, so absorption, the quantity of terrestrial radiation is decreasing, the absorption of heat also decrease. Okay, so the absorption of heat also decreasing, the temperature decreases. So on the increasement of height, the temperature decreases. We have got this idea. If we are going through this heat concept, the temperature also decreases. The first concepts belong to the density of the gases. The two things is working here to determine, two factors are working here to determine the temperature of the troposphere. The first was the density of the gases, and the second one is the heat, and the heat belongs to the sun, that is insolation, and the second is the terrestrial radiation. So we have got this idea why the temperature decreases on the increasement of height in the troposphere. In the further lecture, we will come with the next topics, and that we are going to discuss all the topics in the scientific manner what we have done here. So do not worry, do not be afraid. If they are going to ask the question, anyhow you will be able to, because you have got the idea, you have got the concept. So is any doubt have you can ask in the comment section. And we are going to complete this, and thank you very much.